Christina with the turned leg. I love to salvage, repurpose, and create and help others to do the same. I also like to change up my holiday decor every once in a while, but buying new stuff is completely out of the question. It's just too expensive. So this year I looked around to see what I could find and also what I could find curbside to change it into some beautiful decor for my home. I was so excited when I found some curbside treasures. These old crates are not the pretty kind. They're the kind that you might find at a fruit market, but they will be perfect for some holiday decor. On the first crate, I decided to use DIY paint, liquid patina, dark and decrepit. This product I love to use as an all-natural stain. For more information on how I use it for furniture, you can click on the link to the video above. But it's really super simple. Kind of depends on the wood as to which technique you're going to use. Because this wood was really dried out, all I did was brush on the dark and decrepit straight, just like paint, and it soaked right in and looked like stain. If your wood is a little shinier, or if it's going on too heavy, you can always wipe it back like stain or use a little spray bottle to water it down. Because this product is all natural, you can use it indoors without having to worry about fumes. It also cleans up with water, and if you want to go darker, you can apply more coats as needed. While that crate was drying, I turned my attention to the two other crates. Both of these had labels on them, and they weren't the pretty kind of labels. I grabbed my orbital sander and 120 grit sandpaper and sanded those labels off quickly. For my next box, I'm going to be using Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. Milk paint is a powder-based paint that you mix with equal parts water. Sweet Pickins is an all-natural milk paint that comes in a variety of colors. If you need any of the painter products that I'm using in this video, you can get them online at my website, shoptheturnedleg.com, or in my booth at Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall in Lincoln Park, Michigan. I chose to use basil as my color. It is the perfect holiday evergreen color. All you do is you mix your paint with equal parts water and stir well. If you're stirring by hand, you might have a few clumps. If I'm doing a big project, I will use an immersion blender. The next step is to just paint the piece, and for this project, I am only going to need one coat of milk paint. For the last crate, I am going to paint it using DIY paint. DIY paint is a clay-based, all-natural paint that also comes in a wide variety of colors. It is also water-based. I am going to be going with traditional holiday colors like red and green on this crate. The red I am using is Marquee, which is a perfect Christmas red. I love to use the DIY paint because it's already mixed, and I am using my FIFO bottle, which is a first in, first out bottle. This is what I keep all of my DIY paint in, and I can literally squeeze it on my project, paint, and go. It's that simple. The green color I'm using is called Salty Kiss, and it is a great vintage green. For this project too, I am only going to do one coat of each color paint. I don't want these crates to look brand new, and I think I can easily achieve it by just doing a single coat. Obviously, you could also distress it and sand it back too to give it even a more worn look. While the other crates were drying, I turned my attention back to crate 2. This one was the one that was painted with Sweet Pickins milk paint. On the sides, I am going to be adding DIY paint cottage color in white linen. This is different than the normal DIY paint because it is paint and top coat in one. I am using this paint to provide a really good base for some decoupage paper I'll be applying soon. While I was waiting for all of the crates to dry, I turned my attention to a little holiday decor. One of the simplest things I do for the holidays is I use my JRV stencils. I have the snowflake set and a little DIY paint. You can literally just stencil the paint on the snowflakes and you can decorate your home for the holidays. I prefer snowflakes and white paint, but you can get the stencils in a wide variety of designs. The mini stencils are also great for creating full scenes. This is a fun activity to do with kids because it's non-toxic and washes easily. And it also makes your home look really cool for the holidays. Don't worry too, these wash off your windows really easily with spray glass cleaner. Now that the white linen has dried on crate 2, it is time to decoupage. I thought it would be fun to use the JRV decoupage paper with Santa's postcards for this crate, and I love how it goes so nicely with the basil Sweet Pickins milk paint. And I just kind of fit it in place and then cut it to size. Don't worry if it's not exact. I'll show you how to trim the edges when you're done. For this project, I'm going to be using DIY Paint Liquid Patina in Crystal Clear Chandelier. This product is my favorite decoupage medium, and I use it all the time. Put a good first coat down, and then you can fit your decoupage paper right over it. Now, you're going to see the first time I didn't line it up perfectly. I was able, because the JRV decoupage paper is so well made, to carefully pick it up and straighten it out as needed. The next step is to apply more coats of the liquid patina over the top. Usually I will apply 2 to 3 coats. I do have to tell you that when you apply the top coat, you will see some wrinkles up here. Many will smooth out through the drying process, but I also like to brush from the middle out to help cut down the amount of wrinkles. Once the liquid patina is dry, if you notice a little excess in your decoupage paper on the edges, you can use an X-Acto knife to cut it, or what I like to do is use a sanding block just to sand off the excess paper. Back to crate number 1, and the stain has completely dried, and I am loving the look of a stencil over stained wood. So for this crate, I am using the JRV Holiday Green stencil and the JRV stencil brush. I am stenciling with DIY paint in Tarnished Pearl. It's not a real in-your-face white. In fact, it has a little bit of gray tones to it, and I love how it looks over the dark and decrepit stain. Once the paint from the stencil is dry, you do need to seal it. Since I already had the liquid patina Crystal Clear Chandelier out, I decided to just use that right over as my top coat. For crate number 3, I am also going to be adding a JRV stencil. For this one, I am choosing the Hot Cocoa stencil, and I am using Black Velvet DIY paint. When this was dry, I chose to use the Sweet Pickings oil wax in clear to seal this. All you do is you pour a little into a container and brush it on. It has a very durable finish. Since I'm planning on using this for a hot cocoa station, I won't have to worry about it getting ruined, and it'll be easy to clean it up. I also sealed the other crate with the decoupage paper and the basil Sweet Pickins milk paint. I am only applying the oil wax to the milk paint. You put the oil wax on, you let it sit for 15 minutes, and then you wipe it back. One of the crates I'm going to be using in my dining room. This year we've moved my little village up to a shelf in the dining room. My dining room table looks awful plain, but I have a plan. Are you bored by all this? You want to make it pretty for the holidays? Yeah? Alright. I like to try to add a natural element into my holiday decor whenever possible. So now I'm turning my attention to my junk garden, and I am going to be getting some fresh greenery. I am clipping up some evergreen and some holly. Luckily, I am fortunate enough to have holly bushes that have tons of berries this year. And little George was keeping an eye on me the whole time. Hi, George. While George relaxed underneath the table, I put a runner on top and the new crate. For the center of my table, I am using the crate with decoupage paper and milk paint. A secret for filling crates is you can use grocery bags underneath. I am then putting in the greenery. And yes, you could use some sort of floral sponge or a frog and add water to your greenery to keep it fresher longer. All of your candlesticks don't have to match, and I'm really excited to use these candlesticks that I just got from an estate. They are just so pretty. So I'm putting them within the greenery, and then my candles are not standing up in them, so I'm going to light the bottom of the candle, drip a little wax, and that will hold them in place. I'm also going to light the wick on the candles so they look like they've been lit before. With all the greenery, I'm probably not going to light the candles, and if I was going to use them, I probably would use battery operated candles, but I really like how the red real candles look in this arrangement. I thought maybe the centerpiece needed a little something else, so I did grab some ribbon that had wire in it, and I'm just not sure. Let me know down below if you like this arrangement with or without the ribbon. Welcome to my living room and the second destination for a holiday crate. In this room, I'm going to use the stained holiday greens crate, and I'm going to be putting my miniature Christmas tree inside. Instead of using greenery, I am going to be putting an old chenille bedspread inside, which kind of looks like snow. I love to have holiday collections. My current favorite are my red and green reindeer set, and I thought they just looked great right next to the holiday greens container and the Christmas tree. The final crate was the hot cocoa crate, and it was the perfect place for a hot chocolate bar. And so I used some of my favorite vintage treasures and set up a hot cocoa bar. My daughter helped by making these delicious hot chocolates for both of us. If you've never set up a hot chocolate bar, I highly recommend it. Comment down below and let me know which of the projects was your favorite. Also, if you've been working on something cool, I want to hear about it too. Make sure to put it down in the comments. Wishing you and your family a very happy holiday season. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create.